Hey everybody, welcome to D&D Daily number 9. I am Gregory. This is 1 in 20 D&D. Thanks for joining me. And before I do anything else, I have to, I wish I could redact it or something or fix it. Maybe I can try to find a way to put like an annotation or something on there. I made a horrendous mistake in D&D Daily number 8 yesterday. I was talking a little bit about D&D kind of getting out a little bit into the public eye, and I totally flubbed Ashley Johnson's name. I said Ashley Brown, I think, which I just happened to listen to it last night just because I wanted to see. Reed made some feedback and comments, and I like to kind of tune in to just re-listen to make see what I said and see how I said it and how I can maybe improve things and what I'm talking about and so forth. So this is a vlog. I'm using this as a way to sort of document my thoughts about D&D and role playing in general. And I can't believe I said, who the hell is Ashley Brown? I don't even know who that is. I was totally talking about Ashley Johnson, fantastic player on Critical Role. I have not watched Blind Spot, but I imagine it's fantastic because she's just a great actress. She's been doing it since she was a little kid, and she's one of these amazing people who is able to stay active and stay sane and functional, and good for her. I mean, that's amazing. I'm so impressed by her work all the time, and I apologize. I made a mistake. On the same note, I finished watching the Talks Machina this morning, and they were talking all about the last episode where Ford went to the Second Temple, and then at the end of the episode, Caduceus capsized. Oh, I forgot to say spoilers. Sorry, I'll try to put a note in the tag for this video. Caduceus capsizes one of the ships that's trying to catch them and so forth. And so it was a fun episode. It was great. Talks Machina. Last night at like 9:30, I was like, "Oh, I should watch Critical Role tonight." And then I started editing one of my own videos, and I'm like, I just got too into it, and I decided, you know what? I'm not watching Critical Role this week. However, I am committing to watching it next week. So next week, at least half of it, like 10 to midnight, which is pretty freaking late for me still, I'm going to commit to watching at least half of the show, till the break next week. Live, just for funsies. Watch it on my big TV and have fun at home. Watch it like it's as if it's a movie or something. So that's fine. Now I'm wearing my Boba Fett, one of my favorite Boba Fett shirts today, and I'm a Star Wars nut as well as a D&D nut. I'm a fan. I've been a fan since I was a little kid. I saw Star Wars before I could barely remember anything, because I was born back in the early 70s, and Star Wars came out when I was a little kid, and everybody went to see Star Wars when I was a little kid. Well, maybe not everybody, but, everybody that had a pulse back in the 70s went to see Star Wars. I mean, I remember Empire Strikes Back being in the theater and, hiding from the screen, hiding from Darth Vader. And Empire Strikes Back. I don't really have a good memory of seeing Star Wars, but I know because my parents have told me that they took me to see Star Wars. But regardless, I grew up being this massive fan of Star Wars, playing with the action figures and all that stuff. Here, fast forward to when I'm in my 20s, I guess, and they finally start releasing episode 1, episode 2, I mean, I was huge. I was living in LA at the time. I went to the Grauman's Theater, Chinese theater, whatever they call it nowadays. I don't even know because it's changed a couple names over the years. In Hollywood, I went to see it opening night for episode 1. Originally I didn't plan to for sure. I didn't go see the very first showing, but my friends and I were there for the second or third show, and man, it was awesome. People were dressed up, and yeah, that was totally crazy. The reason I'm bringing that up is because of Edge of the Empire, the role playing game for Star Wars. Have you ever played that? I've tried it out. Reed ran some games for us, and we had a blast. And he kind of he mentioned it to me, or it came up recently, or something, and it's kind of so it's like it's in the back of my mind. It's like this itch I want to scratch of like, yeah, man, we should pull that out and play some more of that. It was fun. Totally different game mechanics. I mean, hugely different game mechanics than Dungeons and Dragons. It's got its own set of dice, which is kind of cool. Like, so you don't even use like standard dice of like D6s, D8s, and that kind of thing. I guess you technically could do that, but they have their own actual dice that have like symbols from the Republic and the Empire and that kind of thing, and the Jedi Order and that whatever. So it's cool. It has its own unique dice set. And of course, if you don't want to go out and pay for the dice set, there are rollers, free dice rollers, online apps and so forth that you can find. I mean, that's one of the coolest things. I gotta be honest. One of the coolest things about living in this modern age of technology is, back in the day, if you didn't have the manual, you had to borrow it from a friend, or maybe go to the game store and like ask them for a store copy, which they, was usually like, okay, sure, fine, you can look through this one. Like, they didn't want you to do that because that was their merchandise. They were trying to sell it. So the stores, the smaller stores, didn't really want you flipping through the pages. They wanted you to buy it. And bigger stores, bigger bookstores would sometimes have the books, but it was always like hit and miss. They'd have like the brand new books for like a couple days, and then they'd have, stuff that like nobody had bought because it wasn't really that interesting. It was like some supplement that was like, maybe not that great, or just, wasn't like one of the core books necessarily. Nowadays, we're lucky because nowadays you can even find some of the core books, at least for D&D, like in libraries and stuff, which is awesome. I mean, who'd have thunk it? Years ago, that sure wasn't the case. We played in the library. I remember, like, some of my first game sessions when I was a kid, 10, 12, 13 years old, we actually had, like, a little D&D club at school, and we played in the library for an hour after school or something like this, or during lunch, or whatever. Well, I don't even remember now. It's been so many years, but... So I remember we played in a library quietly, but yeah, man, isn't that cool that nowadays in this modern time with our smartphones that like we can, it's like a computer you're carrying around with you everywhere, and with this wonderful World Wide Web, the internet, everything's available. I do not support piracy. I don't like that at all. So like, if there's resources out there that are actually free to use, cool. Like there's the SRD and that kind of thing for D&D. Like, use that stuff. But like, if you don't own a book, you shouldn't be going out and getting a free PDF. That's just my opinion. Because these game companies and the individuals that are creating small, like the private, like not private, but like the small mom and pop style companies that are trying to create these games and create something, whether it's D&D, whether it's DM's Guild, these fabulous creators trying to produce these awesome like one shots or supplements or different classes and races and this kind of stuff. Pay those people. Use your money and like share some love, even if it's just a little bit, $1, $5, whatever. That's fine. So like for me, for my opinion, because I think I love digital, it's convenient. So I do use resources. There are wikis, there are D&D wikis and so forth like that. So I pull on that. Like if I need to look up a spell, I go to that. If there's an app that has the spells in it, I use that to support these people. They have advertising or something. They get advertising revenue, hopefully, or whatever. Or if it's a paid one, great. D&D Beyond is an awesome service that, if you pay a little bit, you get access to the book. So I'm looking forward to getting that going for myself. So long story short is there are digital products out there, and how cool is that? And so there are great dice rollers. So you don't have to necessarily go out and purchase stuff, but you should. And I'm looking forward to playing some more Edge of the Empire. That game is super fun. I had a blast playing it, and I want to get back to it and try it again. I have honestly not played any of the other Star Wars role-playing games, so I don't know what they're like. It was just never I didn't know anyone that was running a game, and I didn't actively seek it out myself, even though I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But that's the way it goes, We're all drawn to different role-playing games for different reasons. So, and how cool is that? So, I look forward to playing some more Edge of the Empire. I think I have a couple videos of our games on my YouTube channel here, so go look for those. If not, I'll try to post them, because I definitely recorded them way back when. So I'll try to dig through the scraps and see if I haven't posted them already. I'll try to get them out there for funsies and give you guys an opportunity to see what that game is like. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Stay tuned for more of that. It's Friday. Have an amazing weekend. There will be more amazing D&D stuff coming at you. I'm working on Battletech too. I'm editing that video. I worked on it last night. I'll get it done as quickly as possible. And I'm playing a one-shot tonight, so I'm stoked about that. In the meantime, hope to see you at a table someday, and keep rolling 20s.